Be careful.
Oh, go ahead. All
We want to welcome everybody to Dayton Kwanzaa Elders Council, second day of Kwanzaa, Kujichagulia, which means what?
Self-determination.
Yes. Naming ourselves, defining ourselves, right? Charting our own destiny. We want to begin with libation to acknowledge our elders, our ancestors, and to invite them to into the space. For those who refuse to be defined by the imagination of others, we say, for those who survive the Middle Passage, we say, to all the warriors, healers, and builders who built our communities, we say, for those who refused to be bound, for those who rebelled, for those who fought for the liberation of our people, we say, Ella Jo Baker, Nat Turner, El-Haj Malik Shabazz, Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, Marcus Garvey, Tamir Rice, Brother Hadari, Dr. William Bud Burns, the first black MD in Dayton. For those that self-determined in Dayton, our first black dentist, Warren A. Jackson, in 1881. Paul Lawrence Dunbar. Dayton's first black police officer, William Jenkins. James Parson, research director of the Dayton Durian Research. For thou sign for those who want to call out their ancestors, invite them to the space.
Frank Crow, W.S. McIntosh, Garland W. Ross.
Ashe. 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 Ashe.
Daryl Jones.
Ashe.
William Sharpley,
Ashe. Ashe.
Ida Dumas,
Ashe.
Tyrone Muhammad,
Ashe.
Reverend Schooler.
Ashe. Ashe.
John Crawford III.
Ashe.
Nancy Wilson.
Ashe.
Jomo Kenyatta.
Ashe. Ashe. Kwame Nkrumah. Ashe.
Sekou Touré.
Ashe.
Stokely Carmichael,
Ashe. Ashe.
Fred Hampton,
Ashe.
Gideon McCabe.
Ashe.
Ida B. Wells.
Ashe.
Ben Yakinen.
Ashe.
John Henry Clark.
Ashe.
Francis Wesley.
Ashe. Ashe.
Coretta Scott King.
Ashe. And to all those ancestors who we today are living out their imagination on the foundation, the strong foundation that they laid, we say Ashe,
Ashe.
Ashe,
Ashe.
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 Good question. Yeah, Ashe means so be it. It's kind of like saying amen. Yeah. So now we wanted to light the canard. Do we have a young person that wants to come light? Actually, two young people to come light the candles. You want to come light one?
Young people.
Okay.
Young soldiers.
Okay.
Person cultural.
Okay, come on.
That's right. Go ahead, soldiers. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's balance out the energy. Okay, so now we're gonna. Okay, so now we're going to light the candles. Does anybody know what the black candle represents? Oh, good observation. Yeah, black candle represents us as black people. Does anybody know what the red candle represents? Struggle. Good job. Good job. And then what's the green candle represent? Yes. It means our future, right? So we go red to green because without struggle, we don't have our progress into the future, right? So, okay, we'll go with the oldest boy.
You're looking at him.
Oh, is he? Okay. So why don't you light the black candle for us?
We'll want a safety hat.
Just click it.
You gotta press the thing.
Yeah, just like click it like yes, click it like this.
Very good. I'm glad you went out.
Just like click it real hard.
Hold the button down.
Hold the button. He's nervous.
You good.
Hold the button down this time.
Then you gonna come like that then? Okay, so you're gonna light the red one for self-determination.
Uh-oh. No problem here.
Okay, get that. Okay,
Thank you all for participating. Thank you very much.
Can you give me a round of applause?
Yes, please. So we all heard this evening what Kujichagulia means. So we would like to ask each and every one of you to define what self-determination means to you.
Shout out some things.
Shout out some things. Independence, consistence,
Entrepreneurship.
entrepreneurship, power,
Taking care of our own community.
taking care of our own community, right? And that's why we're here this evening, right? Yeah, exactly. Creating that space.
Watching out and helping each other. Watching out for each other and helping each other.
Watching out for one another and helping one another. Very good.
Creating our own.
Creating our own solutions? Ashe. Very good. Asking questions. Yes. Very good. Ashe. Would anyone like to give an example, if you will, if you would like to share a testimony of any experience of self-determination? Yes, please.
I want to share this because I think it's deep, and for young people that think that we have no hope, listen to this story. When I came to the United States in 1997, I landed in New York with only $40 in my pocket. All I have is friends, no family. but together with the friends that I had, made me get to where I get to today.
Amen.
Today I work at Dayton Children's Hospital as the Director of Inclusion, Diversity and Equity. Whoever thought that a young man that grew up with no electricity, no running water, could come and lead work in such a big city with a big organization that we have very few of us are represented. And so when we think that there's no hope for us, there's a lot of hope. And with determination, dedication, and passion, you'll always get there.
That was a great story of self-determination. We have an exciting day in store for us tonight. We kind of wanted to practice self-determination, and we're going to open up the space to see like what we can do as a community to define our own future and how we can go about doing that and building those relationships to make it happen. To me, like, I love self-determination because to me, it's all about collective hope, right? Which is like knowing that we can create a new future and that we have the power and ability to do it ourselves, right? Oh, okay. Where's he at?
It's right here.
Want to sit?
I never did it.
What thank you for doing today?
My example,
Self-determination.
as self-determination. Once I didn't get 100 on my test, but I kept trying and trying until I got 100.
That's an amazing example of self-determination. Yes, give thanks, right?
Give it up, bro.
Persistence, right? Not allowing situation to define him, right? He kept pressing until he got that 100, right?
That's right.
Blessing. Okay, so now we got a special treat from Mariah. He's gonna come and do a song.
Habarigani. So, let me move over here. Yeah. Thank you. Can I turn the music up a little bit?
I just turned her phone up.
Hello? Okay, great. So yes, like Amaha said, my name is Mariah Johnson, and I am a songstress and a poet, and I'm not gonna speak too much. I'm gonna let my song and the poetry do a lot of the speaking, but before I perform, I do wanna shout out Leroy Bean. He could not be here today. He was actually going to perform this poem, but instead I'm going to read it for him on his behalf. So I also encourage you to, if you would like, close your eyes, just so that you can focus more on the words, the content. This is not necessarily for you to like, this is for you to feel. And to kind of like set the tone for the rest of the evening. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful woman, beautiful man, beautiful people, beautiful land. You are more than what they told you. You are more than. You are more than what they told you. You are more than. Breathe in, breathe out. Let it go, then breathe some more. Breathe in, breathe out. Let it go, then breathe some more. Push the mountains off your back, off your mind. You're not easily cracked. Push the mountains off your back, off your mind. You're not easily cracked. Determine who you are. Determine who you'll be. Determined you'll go far. Determined you'll be free. Determine who you are. Determine who you'll be. Determined you'll go far. Determined you'll be free. Beautiful woman, beautiful man, beautiful people, beautiful land. You are more than what they told you. You are more than. You are more than what they told you. You are more than. Push the mountains off your back, off your mind. You're not easily cracked. Push the mountains off your back, off your mind. You're not easily cracked. You see pride in your hands, overflow, pour back into the land. You see pride in your hands, overflow, pour back into the land. Determine who you are. Determine who you'll be. Determined you'll go far. Determined you'll be free. Determine who you are. Determine who you'll be. Determined you'll go far. Determined you'll be free. As a writer, it is my job to make you question your life by describing your own reality to you. Artist oath. So, what's your personal growth plan? A person of growth and awareness of self has more wealth than a man with a 9 in his right and 100 mil in the other hand. So you saying, since time is money, this ain't the time to focus something on self? And you can really stand there knowing you're slowly sinking in quicksand, panicking, because the damage is too severe to your life and where it landed at is too far off course. You missed the landing strip that people been guiding you to since your first minute. You too conditioned to remember how you became you until you rejected it and still ain't found out how to fix it yet. As a writer, it is my job to make you question your life by describing your own reality to you. Artist oath. So what's your personal growth plan? People love
So what's your personal growth plan? People love to dream a change of circumstance, but won't change the circumference of the company you keep or change cities, but packing the same habits, that's the same baggage you took last trip and still ain't come back different. That's not dissing the job or the school you in, more so the toxic characteristics you refuse to acknowledge, yet your concern is finding a top-notch relationship? Let me break this down real quick. You can't be a person in pieces with no desire to clean it and expect to have a healthy, functioning relationship with a person that exists in the same toxic reality that your senses uses to confirm your consciousness and still find the beauty in it more than your hurt feelings. You need a personal growth plan. You should follow your introspective path to build an intro to your perspective and show the path of your experiences that have placed you in the present day, where you are now, dedicated to spending the rest of your days dating yourself from day to night. My plan be like my mind open, explore an ocean of peace, read, meditate, healthy eats, exercise, and make a cycle consistently, allow myself to feel, and that still includes crying. Then analyze my heart and my mind to figure out where those feelings came from, only for my subconscious to finally shout out that it's connected to some trauma back in 2000. And that ain't even something I got the power to fix in one night, or 2 books that align, or 3 albums from my favorite artists that sync up with the time as a writer. It is my job to make you question your life by describing your own reality to you, because I live in it too. Artist Oath. Now please, invest in a personal growth plan. Thank you.
Haborgani.
Kujichagulia.
Haborgani.
Kujichagulia.
My name is Kamo. I'm representing the Nation Builders and Warriors, part of the Dayton Africana Elders Council in the Dayton Africana Village as a whole. The members consist of Marlon Shackelford, Amaha Selassie, Tiffany, Sharon, Shanice, Jamaica, and Kamo. The second principle of the Nguzo Saba is self-determination. This too expresses itself as both commitment and practice. It demands that we as an African people define, defend, and develop ourselves instead of allowing or encouraging others to do this. It requires that we recover lost memory and once again shape our world in our own image and interest. And it is a call to recover and speak our own special truth to the world and raise images above the earth that reflect our capacity for human greatness and progress. The first act of a free people is to shape its world in its own image and interest. And it is a statement about their conception of self and their commitment to self-determination. Frantz Fanon has said that each person must ask him or herself 3 basic questions. Who am I? Am I really who I say I am? Am I all that I ought to be? These are questions of history and culture, not simply queries or questions of personal identity. More profoundly, they are questions of personal identity. More profoundly, they are questions of collective identity based and born out in historical and cultural practice. And the essential quality of that practice must be the quality of self-determination. To answer the question of who am I correctly, then is to know and live one's history and to practice one's culture. To answer the question of am I really who I say I am, is to have and employ a cultural criteria of authenticity. For example, criteria of what is real and unreal, what is appearance and essence, what is culturally rooted and foreign. And to answer the question of am I all that I ought to be, is to self-consciously possess and use ethical and cultural standards which measure men, women, and children in terms of the quality of their thought and practice in the context of who they are and must become, in both an African and human sense. Practice Kujichagulia every day.
All right. Good job, my brother.
Habargani.
Kujichagulia.
Habargani.
Kujichagulia.
Thank you. As a recent inductee, as a nation builder, I am here to kind of offer to you our definition, or the definition, or another definition of Kujichagulia, self-determination. To borrow the words of Dr. Tway last night in describing unity in your family, unity in the community, and unity for your culture, I will borrow those words and to say self-determination in your family, self-determination in your community, and self-determination for your culture. So I offer that to say self-determination as an individual or in your family starts with coming to and participating in Kwanzaa events, learning what Kwanzaa is all about, learning to go back into your history and pull back from those who created for us to help us to determine so we can name who we are for ourselves. So within the community, we come together and we join with one another to further define and build on that example, to determine what we want for our neighborhoods, for our schools, for our community, and the efforts and willingness we're willing to bring and put together. For the culture, we are self-determined to learn our rich cultural history, and to not only learn it, but to ingest it so we know it, and
That's
to
right.
breathe it, and to let it be a part of us.
Right.
Because no matter what we come to be, the things that have been placed by our ancestors before us was for us, and to help determine us, to show us who we really are.
That's right.
So in this effort, we have combined and we have come together with some community participants, some community leaders, and in an effort to, one, help further define ourselves and the efforts that we give towards our community, and to present some things that we are able to or desire to make manifest in the direction we want to go as a community. So instead of letting our direction be defined by the schools, our neighborhoods, and the elections and things like that, we're coming together and defining it for ourselves.
That's right.
Right, right.
Thank you, Sharon and everyone else. Habari Gani.
Kujichagulia.
So I'm Tiffany Brown, one of the nation builders, and I want to thank you all for coming. And so what we're talking about here is self-determination, how we are creating ourselves, naming ourselves, defining ourselves, speaking for ourselves. And so we're practicing this. It's hard work to collaborate, right? Because people come together with different ideas, visions, goals, aspirations, perspectives. So what we have done as nation builders and warriors is we realize that we're connected to a larger group of young people who want to see positive change in Dayton. So for the last, I'd say 4 to 6 weeks, we've been collaborating with amazing community leaders. We've been meeting every week
for, hours at a time and late nights and phone calls and really trying to practice this self-determination thing so we can present it. Because it's one thing to talk it, but it's one thing to be about it and live it. And so you're seeing the result of our labor recently. So again, I'm Tiffany and this is Darshil with me. And so what we want to present tonight is an activity of self-determination. And Nation Builders Warriors are here with the community leaders who we've been working with, and we will introduce them to you all in a minute. And we're going to talk about how we self-determine. And you guys, when you came in, you selected a table to sit at. So you guys are self-determining. Give yourselves a hand. We had you do something different. It wasn't just come in and choose a seat. We had to be thoughtful about where we wanted to go. And so we're going to lead you through a process of kind of self-determination for what we want to create and develop and who we want to be. So Darshil is going to talk to you about this activity.
And don't feel bad if you didn't choose your table intentionally. You'll have time to sit at the table that you want to sit at. So I'll start off with this table right here. So this table says arts and culture and politics. And our facilitators are Mariah and Reggie. Just the two of you?
Shanice.
And Shanice will be the third facilitator over here. And in the back right corner, we have financial literacy and economic development. And we have Kamo and Nate are going to be the facilitators for that group. In the back left corner, we have youth engagement and education. And we have Amaha and Cameron and James in the back are going to be the facilitators there. And then this group is, if you feel like none of those categories fit you or you're not sure, you do something completely different. This is self-determination group 4. And I will be facilitating that along with Sharon and Jamaica back there. So we're going to take the next about 20-25 minutes to have some dialogue within the group about what is actually happening for this next year, for 2019. What are we self-determining in our organizations and the initiatives we may be a part of along these, in these topics. And our facilitators are going to do a really great job of guiding you through this conversation so we know where we're, as individuals, what we're contributing, and get a picture of, as a whole, where is the whole community going for 2019. So facilitators, if you could start wrapping up and get your group ready to present by 25 after. Is that cool? Okay, so if you're not at a table, feel free to join a table or switch tables. This is your time to do that, and we'll start.
In the economic realm.
So in the financial literacy and the cooperative economics group, we came up with some ideas of what we currently see as deficiencies in the community, and we came up with one strategic move that we can do practically and have measurable results in the next 12 months. So when we revisit this next year, we can have something to report back to you that's not just coming for the day itself. So I have Myron up here with his youth, and he wanted to give some insight to the group idea that we came up with as a solution.
My name is Myron McGee. What we kind of concluded for economics on this day of self-determination was that we needed to create a business idea called currency flow. And what currency flow would do is change the direction in which we are spending our money or investing our money. So basically what it would do is say, hey, each quarter, everybody in here would give $10. So that's $40 a year. That $40 times 50 people would be invested in something that's going to grow the money, and then it may be moved again after you get the profit. You move it again and invest it again to grow it in another direction. And as you keep doing that, it just changes the way we spend our money, because right now we're stagnant with our money. And like he was saying, we don't use our credit, we don't invest properly, and we don't get a return on that. So that's basically what we came up with. It's called Currency Flow, and if anybody wants to be a part of that, we need to get your number here, and then we'll call you. This is something tangible that we can do and see the result of it next year if you want to do it. Currency Flow.
Thank you. That sounds exciting, y'all. I want my currency to flow in the direction of multitude and multiply. So education, are you guys ready? All right. Let's get it. Again, these are exciting initiatives, projects, ideas, thoughts about 2019 and where we're going in education and with the youth. So we got 2 minutes. Darshil, time starts now.
Oh, my time don't start, so I get the mic. No?
Now.
Alright, good thanks. One of the things that came out in our group was just how rich the gifts and talents were at the table, and it really just reaffirmed the notion that we are the ones we've been waiting for, right? And that we had the power within ourselves to make this happen. Some of the areas that we're looking at, we identified the summer as a place where there's a summer slide, where a lot of things that the youth have learned throughout the year, they lose it during the summertime. And so we're looking at programs to help fill that gap. Some dealing with nature, getting the parents engaged and involved, teaching them urban gardening and farming, and developing things for youth to do in the summer that is free. Another thing was really focusing on healing from the inside out, because oftentimes, that's how change begins. And so a lot of our youth have been, they've been told the lies so often about their lack of worth or their lesser than, that like how do we continue to encourage, give them culturally competent curriculum that they can see themselves in their curriculum to move forward?
And we also encouraged and considered having them write about their experience during that, and then in a way to get them to see themselves in this is by possibly creating a book during that. So again, we're reiterating that reading and writing and having them see themselves in that way.
Huge encouragement along the family and everyone involved in the community is our big purpose here. We want to include everyone. Everyone's included, mother, father, child, to be just an active part, to have an activity or we were planning gardening to push a family together so that education and so that learning and reading and being creative can be a yes.
And also that youth are not the future, they are the future now, right? And so how we help build them up to be leaders. And we're hoping to do out of all these panels that we develop a platform for the West Side that we know what we want to do and make it happen.
Thank you. Now we have arts, politics, and culture. Yes, you may use that mic there.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Reggie Henderson. I'm joined by my good friend Danielle. Like she said, we are representing the arts, culture, and politics table, and she's going to tell you a little bit about what we spoke about.
All right. Hopefully it doesn't squeak. I hate that sound. Like you said, my name is Danielle Flowers. We spoke on behalf of the arts, culture, and politics. We all agreed that they all go cohesive together. You can't really have successful politics without creative minds. You can't have successful culture without politics coming in, changing things. So we thought to engage more so with the elders to get some of their stories, lift up those voices, being able to learn from the past and understand what is effective in communities, and also be more uplifting to children in their creativity, as well as teaching them more into politics so that they can be stronger as adults. Oh, yes, culture and unity as well. Just bringing all those ties in, you really need both of the arts and politics to really put some power to uplift the voice of the culture itself. So yeah, I think that's That's pretty much it. Y'all like that?
Self-determination group.
They are, yes, you're up now.
Reggie can time me.
That mic is working better anyway.
So we talked about a couple of different things, but a lot of stuff was kind of, I need the second page, was around health and wellness and well-being. And so there's a couple of things that are coming up in 2019, if you didn't know. The Wesley Center has just received a lot more produce than they normally have, plus they have a community garden. So it was reported to the group that right now they have way too much food. And so a lot of people don't know that our food pantries, I guess when Aldi moved, they upped how much food that they were giving to all of the food pantries. And so there's a lot of produce ready for people to take. We have 2 representatives from a group, Young Ladies Aspiring Greatness, YLAC, and they have monthly events, and you can find them on Facebook to find out what events they have. And if you have events where you want some young people in attendance or some volunteer support, you can also reach out to them for that.
Yeah, they're amazing.
We have the Midwest Culture Lab is going to be holding what is called the C Space, which is a space for creatives to come together. And even if you don't identify as a creative, if you just want to be in that kind of an environment. So you can find the Ohio Student Association on Facebook and the Midwest Culture Lab on Facebook. Our group was a very Facebook using group, so. And then we have the New Black Panther Party is still continuing the fight with the Good Sam property. And they found in some research that when the deed was originally written, it was zoned for healthcare purposes. And so now that it is closing, we can still hold them accountable to putting something healthcare related in that space. And so they're holding that down. You can follow the New Black Panther Party. You can talk to them. Raise your hands. You can talk to both of them over there to find out more information on how you can stay involved with that. They also do, I know. They also do like coat and shoe giveaways throughout the whole year. So you can always donate to that. And then last but not least, Neighborhood Over Politics is going to be having some kind of important community conversation. This year it was about gentrification. And then they do an important event every year called Rock the Vote, where they bring anyone who's running for office and to a panel so you can actually ask them questions, hear what they have to say, and get to know who the politicians are. So that's all. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. So that was a quick exercise in self-determination, right? We know it was a little bit different than what we normally do at Kwanzaa, but we wanted you guys to kind of feel this process. So, you know, it can be uncomfortable, you know, sharing and getting to know each other, but it's important work. So thank you guys for doing that and sharing everything that you shared. Amazing ideas. And so how do we stay focused on this? How do we follow these stories, right? Because we heard a lot of great things. So when we leave here tonight, how do we stay connected to the work? And so Steve Muhammad is going to come up and talk about a platform that he's developing for us to stay connected as a community. It's a community-wide calendar, an initiative where we can support each other. So come on up, Steve.
All right. Assalamu alaikum, Abar Ghani. We have put together a community calendar. This community calendar is a dynamic, interactive community calendar that we are connecting all of the nonprofit organizations and just organizations that are putting together valuable programs that can help uplift the community. So, your organization with a Google account would be able to put the program on your calendar, and it would connect to the community calendar, so that it would be a calendar where we could go to one place and find events that are taking place in our community. Now, we know that Facebook has their events, but you have to search for them. Here, you won't have to search for them. They will be right on the calendar. As soon as that organization would put their event on there and the information on there, it will be public to the community. So that's what we are designing, working with my brother Nate to put out that calendar on the website. And you know, there's a saying that a man who won't treat you right won't teach you right, right? But we know by looking at what's been going on that a man that won't treat you right also can shut you down. And they're shutting down websites that they don't control, so we gotta control our own. It's a community calendar so far.
Right, right. So that's how we can self-determine. We can name this thing. And so Nate is going to come and talk about another extension of that piece and how we're going to link these together as well.
So my name is Nate Dillard, and I build websites for Black-owned businesses. And so I'm currently building a website for all the organizations that have come together to create a strategy for self-determination 2019. And this website's going to pretty much sum up all the organizations that have come together. We've been coming together over the past few weeks, once a week. And then also it's going to have links to visit their website, their Facebook page, or communicate with them. And then also we're going to link that community calendar to the website on the homepage of the website, so everyone can go to one location and find everything that has to do with what we're doing as a community, as a team, as collective organizations and entities and leaders and individuals. So look out for that website, and I'm sure it will be coming very soon. I'm pretty much done with it, so I can't wait to show you guys. All right.
Okay. All right, to be announced. Yeah, so as nation builders and warriors, like this year we want to take on the responsibility of really how to start developing more organization within the community and finding ways for us to stay connected, to stay engaged and involved. You know, for a couple years now, we've been talking about this calendar. It's kind of been floating around, you know what I mean? So we really want to nail it down this year, you know what I mean, that we can have better communication and coordinated effort and really support each other's endeavors, because again, we are the ones we've been waiting for. So we wanted to, I don't even know how many, I wouldn't want to put a number on it, but if you were part of the organizing group, like there's a good number of us that came together these last couple weeks to put it together. So I wanted to show different organizations that helped put this together, because that's again showing how we've been collaborating together. So if you could stand, if you were part of the organizing group, and maybe like say maybe you can go through and just say the names of different organizations so you can see the broad-based collaboration we're creating.
DLGB Radio. DLGB Radio. My name is James Cummings.
Racial Justice Now and West Dayton Youth Task Force, Cameron Walker.
Black Sage Productions.
Elevation Collaborative.
The National Black Business Directory.
They've got a new app too, right?
Yeah, we just acquired an app, and it's an app that congregates all the Black news into one application. It's called Black, but it's spelled BLVCK. And look it up. It's on the iOS, iPhone only so far. And please download it and support it.
Ohio Student Association / Midwest Culture Lab.
Fund for African American Education and Culture. Fund for African American Education and Solidarity, FACES.
I have a couple. I have I Breathe Art, Dayton Young Black Professionals, and the Midwest Culture Lab.
Neighborhoods Over Politics, along with Jamaica Garrison and Joel Thomas Jones.
Nagusa Saba of Dayton.
Justice, Arts, and Healing Hub.
And West Dayton Strong. So, oh, sorry, DC came up. My phone came up.
Came on, emerge.
So, and Tiffany and I were representing West Dayton Strong. So you can see it's a broad-based collaboration. Like we have people in all the different core areas that we identified as being keys to like moving our community forward. Like Dr. Tway, he always talked about building a competent community. It's a community that can identify its needs, identify its resources, and the way to build the community that we want to work, live, and play in, right? So.
Oh, yes. Thank you. And so we have, with the African Village and the Dayton African Elders Council, we have community meetings the third Monday of the month right here at 6 o'clock. So that is a way for you to stay engaged and follow up on this story. And so find out about the other things that we're talking about. January, we won't have it because it's Martin Luther King Day. Bertie told me that. So we'll be doing that on the third Monday in February. And so we want to thank our vendors real quick. James, please shout out our vendors. Then we're going to close out with Brother Shaq and the youth. Yes, Mama Mope.
Thank you all for coming. My children tell me there are 92 people here tonight. Bigger than last night. And where's Anthony Roebuck? Where are you, Anthony? Everybody take a look. See Anthony Roebuck back there? Anthony is the assistant director of the House of Bread. And if it were not for the House of Bread, we would have had a soup. But we had soup and salad and chicken and beef and chicken. So thanks to the House of Bread for their contribution. And tomorrow we will have, for the vegans, we will have vegan chili. Guaranteed to be delicious. If you've enjoyed the last two, guaranteed number 3 gonna be delicious. And we're going to have leftover everything. And some baked chicken and some broccoli and some carrots and some potatoes. And rice. As Mama we have to give Mama her rice. But thank you all for everything. We want to make sure we thank the House of Bread for hospitality tonight.
Thank you, Mama. And as always, thank the members of the Elders Council, the elders putting this together. So let's thank our vendors, and then Shaq and the youth are going to close us out. So kids, be ready. You are on deck, okay? Be ready.
All right, as I call out the vendors, if you guys could stand up so that everybody can see you. So first off, we have Red Top Sales on 16 North Kiwi Street in Dayton, Ohio. You can contact them at 937-226-1480. That's again 937-226-1480. So if you want to put that in your phone. We have CDS Designs off of 100 Illinois in Dayton, Ohio, 45410. That's 937-782-9388 is how you can contact them. 937-782-9388. We don't have numbers with the rest of them, but we have Crown Jewels. Crown Jewels is here. Yes, yes. Beautiful, yes. And if you would like any accessories, beautiful accessories, are they handmade? Yes. They're handmade, yes, yes, so very beautiful. The Kumba, Drama, Dance, and Drum. Yes. So beautiful, beautiful. You'll see them at every plaza. They're amazing. Check them out for yourselves. We have the Stone Faith Ministry, handcrafted faith stones. So beautiful. Yes, so right over there. Yeah. And that's all for this. Thank you very much.
You put it right here. We don't need the mic. Okay. Ain't you over there? Oh, let's turn this on. Y'all give it up for the young people. Give it up. Oh, one more vendor. Mama Nazifa. She's everywhere. She's everywhere. She's everywhere. You got to have Umoja, Kujichagulia, Ujima, Ujama, Nia, Kahumba, and Amane, Harambe, pull together, Harambe, pull together, Sankofa, 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 boom! Yeah! I told them they don't do this good, don't talk to me ever again. Kids know I'll be seeing them soon.
Come on, kids.
I love myself. Ready to go?
I love myself.
A equals awesome. B equals better. C equals change. D equals darn that hurt. And F, you forgot everything. All right? So they need to do this again. Oh, I'm not talking to them. Are y'all ready? Yes. Are y'all ready? Yes. All right, here we go. I love it. Y'all ready? Here we go. Ready? Go! There you go. Love myself. I respect myself. I forgive myself. Rosa Parks. I cherish myself. Mickey Jackson. I am somebody. 5, stay alive. 10, stay out the pen so I can use my pen. Woo, there it is. All right, what I do? Who invented the fountain pen? William Purvis. All right, give it up for it. Yeah. What about the community? Community what? The circle represents the what? Are you bigger than the community? No. All right, y'all give it up for them. Give it up.
One love for Brother Shaq. One love for Brother Shaq.
Okay, 7 Harambe's. Harambe means pull together. Simply. Everybody stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Take a load off. That's freedom school. I got freedom school mixed in my head.
It's all good. It's all right.
So now, we have Queen Mothers here as well. But when I was in London, the Queen Mother told me that we're simply, the ancestors are talking to us and they're pouring into us. And we have to pour into others. And those we talk about 7 times, we're simply talking about Nguzo Saba, the black value system. So that's what the Harambe's means. Here we go, 7 times. Ready? Go! Harambe! 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 Harambe!